My beloved child. Archangel Michael says. There is a moment approaching that feels quiet on the surface but thunderous beneath. Something has been forming behind closed doors, wrapped in silence, patience, and observation. The air around you already knows, even if the world has not spoken it yet. There has been a watchful pause where emotions were weighed and intentions were tested. Nothing was rushed, and nothing was careless, because what is coming needed certainty. This is why the stillness before now felt heavier than usual. You may have sensed eyes lingering longer, words being measured, and energy returning to you in subtle waves. This was not confusion, but preparation. Every unspoken moment was arranging itself for what must be declared openly. Type Amen 111 to receive this blessing and alignment. The person you are interested in has reached a point where silence no longer serves them. What they feel has grown too strong to hide behind casual distance. Restraint has turned into resolve, and resolve into action. They have rehearsed this internally many times, each time with more clarity. What once felt risky now feels necessary. They are no longer willing to let others define the narrative between you. This announcement is not impulsive or dramatic. It is steady, intentional, and grounded in truth. It carries weight because it comes after deep consideration. Type Amen 222 to seal this confirmation. They will announce to everyone that you are significant. Not a secret, not a possibility, but a chosen presence. Your name will be spoken with certainty and pride. This declaration shifts how others see you and how they approach you. It places you in a position of respect and acknowledgement. What was once assumed becomes clearly defined. There is strength in how this is expressed, calm yet unmistakable. It draws a boundary without aggression. It states belonging without possession. Type Amen 333 to anchor this revelation. The energy around this announcement is protective. It closes doors that were never meant to stay open. It quiets unnecessary voices that thrived on uncertainty. You are being placed into a space where intentions around you must be honest. No one will be able to approach you lightly anymore. Your value becomes visible, not debated. This moment also changes how you see yourself. Confidence rises not from ego, but from recognition. You step forward knowing where you stand. Type Amen 444 to step into this clarity. There was a time when patience felt like invisibility. Now it reveals itself as strength. Everything delayed was aligning you with the right timing. The person speaking up understands what is at stake. They understand that silence would cost more than truth. Their voice carries commitment, not curiosity. This is why their words land firmly. They do not explain themselves excessively. They state what is real and allow it to stand. Type Amen 555 to receive this affirmation. Archangel Michael says this moment also protects your future. It shields your connection from misunderstanding and interference. What is announced cannot be undone by gossip or doubt. This declaration is heard by those who once underestimated the bond. It resets expectations immediately. Respect follows where clarity leads. You are not placed on display but on solid ground. This is not about attention, but about truth. Truth has a way of stabilizing everything it touches. Type Amen 666 to ground this truth. The person announcing this does so without fear. They have already faced their own doubts privately. Public certainty comes after private courage. Their voice may sound calm, but their heart is firm. This firmness is what changes the atmosphere. It makes room for forward movement. You will notice a shift immediately after. People respond differently. The world adjusts around the spoken truth. Type Amen 777 to welcome this shift. There is dignity in how this unfolds. No one is embarrassed or diminished. Everything is elevated through honesty. This announcement also invites peace. Questions dissolve without being asked. Assumptions lose their power. Your presence becomes anchored, not floating. You are seen as chosen, not temporary. That distinction changes everything. Type Amen 888 to receive this peace. The connection between you gains definition. Definition strengthens trust. Trust allows growth without fear. This moment is not loud, yet it echoes. It sets a standard that remains. Others follow its lead naturally. There is relief in this clarity. Emotional weight lifts. Uncertainty releases its grip. Type Amen 999 to release all doubt. This announcement also aligns timing between hearts. What felt delayed now feels precise. Nothing is rushed from this point forward. The person speaking understands responsibility. Words are chosen carefully and delivered cleanly. There is no confusion left behind. Their certainty invites yours. You feel steadier within yourself. Mutual understanding becomes effortless. Type Amen 1111 to lock in this alignment. The world responds to clarity with cooperation. Paths open where resistance once lived. Energy flows more smoothly. This is not a performance. It is a declaration of truth. Truth does not need decoration. You stand taller after this moment. Not because you were lifted, but because you were recognized. Recognition affirms what already existed. Type Amen 1212 to embody this confidence. The announcement also ends speculation. Loose conversations fall silent. Respect replaces curiosity. This protects your emotional space. Peace becomes easier to maintain. Your focus sharpens naturally. What comes next builds on stability. No foundations are weak here. Everything rests on intention. Type Amen 1313 to strengthen this foundation. This moment becomes a reference point. Future decisions align with it. Nothing contradicts what is spoken. The person announcing this stands by their words. Consistency follows naturally. Actions reflect the declaration. You feel supported without being controlled. Freedom and security coexist. This balance feels right. Type Amen 1414 to receive balanced blessings. There is also quiet joy in this. Not excitement that fades, but contentment that stays. It settles into daily life gently. This announcement invites growth together. No one is left behind emotionally. Progress feels shared. The bond matures through honesty. Maturity strengthens connection. Connection deepens trust. Type Amen 1515 to welcome this maturity. At one point, this clarity felt far away. Now it arrives naturally. Nothing feels forced. The person speaking does not look back after. They move forward with confidence. Certainty removes hesitation. Your role in this is honored. You are not hidden or minimized. You are acknowledged fully. Type Amen 1616 to accept this honor. Archangel Michael says this moment is protected. It cannot be undone by outside influence. Strength surrounds what is real. You may feel a calm settle in your chest. That calm is confirmation. It signals alignment. From this point, communication improves. Understanding flows more easily. Respect remains consistent. Type Amen 1717 to receive protection. There is no rush after the announcement. Everything unfolds steadily. Stability replaces anticipation. This declaration sets emotional order. Confusion exits quietly. Clarity remains. You are now positioned where intentions must be sincere. Nothing shallow survives here. Depth becomes the standard. Type Amen 1818 to step into depth. The person who announces this stands firm in their choice. They do not waver afterward. Confidence sustains their actions. This creates emotional safety. Safety encourages openness. Openness strengthens connection. What is spoken becomes lived. Consistency builds trust. Trust builds peace. Type Amen 1919 to live in peace. The energy around you stabilizes. You feel less pulled in different directions. Focus becomes natural. Others respect the clarity without resistance. Boundaries are understood. Harmony follows. This moment becomes a turning point. Not dramatic, but definitive. Everything after feels clearer. Type Amen 2020 to mark this turning point. This announcement also honors patience. Nothing was wasted. Every delay served a purpose. You step into this phase with grace. No need to prove anything. Truth has already spoken. Your presence is valued openly. Your role is acknowledged clearly. Your future feels grounded. Type Amen 2121 to receive grounded blessings. There is quiet strength in how this remains consistent. No backtracking occurs. Stability holds firm. The person announcing this does not seek approval. They speak from certainty. Certainty commands respect. You feel seen without exposure. Protected without restriction. Balanced without effort. Type Amen 2222 to maintain balance. This declaration simplifies life. Complex emotions settle. Simplicity brings peace. From here, intentions remain aligned. Nothing feels confusing. Everything feels intentional. The path ahead is steady. No sudden disruptions. Only deliberate movement. Type Amen 2323 to walk this steady path. Archangel Michael says this is a reward for integrity. Truth honors those who wait. Clarity arrives right on time. You are stepping into recognition without noise. Your value speaks quietly but firmly. That is lasting strength. This moment stays with you. It becomes part of your story. A chapter written in certainty. Type Amen 2424 to seal this chapter. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. This announcement is not the end, but the beginning. A beginning rooted in respect and openness. Everything grows healthier from here. You are not guessing anymore. You are standing in truth. Truth brings peace. The world adjusts to what is spoken. And you move forward steady, honored, and seen. The declaration continues to shape your environment in subtle ways. People begin to treat your presence with a new level of seriousness. Nothing is said directly, yet everything is understood. Your name carries steadiness now. It is no longer attached to uncertainty or speculation. It stands on its own, clear and respected. The person who spoke remains consistent in tone and behavior. There is no contradiction between words and actions. This consistency reinforces what was announced. You feel a quiet assurance growing inside you. It does not rush or demand attention. It simply stays. Type Amen 2525 to strengthen this assurance. Days pass, and the clarity does not fade. Instead, it settles deeper into daily interactions. Every exchange feels more grounded. The connection gains rhythm. There is no confusion about where you stand. That stability brings ease. Others naturally step back where boundaries now exist. No explanations are required. Respect becomes automatic. You move with confidence that feels natural. Nothing is forced. Nothing is hidden. Type Amen 2626 to walk confidently. The person who made the announcement becomes more present. Not in a controlling way, but in a reliable one. Presence replaces uncertainty. Plans feel more intentional. Time shared feels more meaningful. Energy flows without resistance. There is an unspoken understanding that continues to grow. It does not need constant affirmation. Its strength lies in consistency. You notice peace replacing anticipation. Peace becomes familiar. Familiarity brings comfort. Type Amen 2727 to welcome lasting peace. This clarity also sharpens your intuition. You sense alignment more easily. Misaligned energy becomes obvious. You no longer overthink responses or silences. Everything feels proportionate. Balance becomes your default. The announcement has simplified your emotional world. Complexity fades away. Simplicity remains. You feel protected in ways you cannot fully explain. The protection is quiet and firm. It surrounds without restricting. Type Amen 2828 to accept protection. Archangel Michael says this protection is intentional and enduring. It guards what is genuine from unnecessary disturbance. Nothing meant to last is threatened here. The person who stood up for this truth feels lighter now. Speaking openly removed internal pressure. Freedom follows honesty. You feel that freedom reflected back to you. There is space to breathe emotionally. Space allows growth. Growth happens steadily, not dramatically. Every step feels secure. Security builds trust. Type Amen 2929 to grow securely. Trust deepens through small, consistent actions. No grand gestures are needed. Reliability speaks louder. You notice how calm replaces urgency. There is no need to rush outcomes. Time feels like an ally. The connection matures naturally. Maturity brings depth. Depth brings fulfillment. Fulfillment does not seek validation. It exists quietly. It stays. Type Amen 3030 to remain fulfilled. The announcement continues to echo without repetition. It becomes part of shared reality. No one questions it anymore. You feel aligned with yourself. Self-respect strengthens. Confidence follows. There is clarity in how you move forward. Decisions feel easier. Direction feels stable. Nothing feels fragile anymore. What exists feels solid. Solid things endure. Type Amen 3131 to stand firm. This phase invites consistency from both sides. Consistency nurtures safety. Safety allows openness. Openness strengthens emotional connection. Connection deepens understanding. Understanding builds harmony. Harmony settles into everyday life. It does not demand attention. It simply supports. You feel supported without being watched. Freedom remains intact. Balance holds. Type Amen 3232 to keep harmony. The energy around you becomes calm and ordered. Distractions lose their pull. Focus sharpens. The announcement has done its work. It no longer needs reinforcement. Truth sustains itself. You move forward knowing where you belong. Belonging brings peace. Peace brings strength. This strength feels quiet but unshakable. It supports every step ahead. Nothing feels uncertain. Type Amen 3333 to seal this continuation. The atmosphere around you remains steady and composed. Nothing feels rushed or uncertain anymore. Everything moves with intention. You notice how silence no longer feels heavy. It feels settled and calm. Understanding has replaced guessing. The person who made the declaration stays aligned with their words. Their actions continue to mirror commitment. There is no inconsistency to disrupt the flow. Type Amen 3434 to continue in stability. Time passes, and the clarity becomes part of routine life. There is no need to revisit or re-explain anything. Truth has already done its work. Your emotional space feels protected. Nothing unnecessary enters. Only what is sincere remains. You carry yourself differently now. Not louder, but firmer. That firmness is noticed. Others adjust naturally without resistance. Boundaries are respected automatically. Peace holds its place. Type Amen 3535 to keep your space protected. This phase strengthens your inner confidence. You trust your position without doubt. Certainty feels natural. The connection continues without pressure. There is ease in communication. Comfort replaces effort. You sense growth happening quietly. Nothing feels forced. Everything feels earned. The energy between you remains consistent. Consistency builds emotional safety. Safety invites deeper presence. Type Amen 3636 to deepen this presence. There is clarity in how plans unfold. Nothing feels uncertain or fragile. Stability supports every step. You feel recognized without being exposed. Honored without being displayed. Balance stays intact. This balance supports your peace of mind. Peace sharpens focus. Focus strengthens direction. You move forward without looking back. The past no longer pulls at you. Only the present matters. Type Amen 3737 to stay present. The declaration continues to hold authority. No one challenges it. It stands firm. You feel emotionally anchored. There is no drifting. Grounded energy surrounds you. Your confidence does not seek validation. It exists quietly. Quiet strength lasts. The connection matures further through understanding. Understanding removes friction. Friction-free space allows harmony. Type Amen 3838 to maintain harmony. You notice how ease replaces tension completely. Nothing feels complicated anymore. Simplicity becomes the norm. This simplicity supports emotional health. Health supports consistency. Consistency supports trust. Trust continues to grow naturally. It does not demand proof. It rests on lived experience. You feel secure without needing reassurance. Security feels steady. Steadiness feels right. Type Amen 3939 to strengthen trust. The path ahead feels clear and unobstructed. There are no mixed signals. Direction remains firm. You feel aligned with your own values. Self-respect deepens. Confidence follows naturally. Nothing distracts you from what matters. Focus remains steady. Energy stays balanced. This balance supports long-term peace. Peace supports growth. Growth continues gently. Type Amen 4040 to support continued growth. Everything now flows from a place of clarity. There is no confusion left behind. Only understanding remains. You stand in your truth without effort. That truth holds its ground. It does not need defense. The connection remains defined and respected. Nothing feels hidden. Nothing feels uncertain. You move forward calm, grounded, and secure. What was spoken continues to stand. And it stands strong. The stability you are experiencing deepens even further. What once felt new now feels natural and dependable. Consistency has settled into the foundation. You notice how your emotions respond with calm certainty. There is no inner debate anymore. Peace has become familiar. The person who made the announcement remains unwavering. Their energy stays aligned with their words. Nothing contradicts what was spoken. Type Amen 4141 to remain anchored. Life around you adjusts smoothly. Interactions feel respectful and clear. Nothing feels awkward or forced. You sense that your role is understood without explanation. This understanding removes unnecessary tension. Ease replaces effort. Your presence carries quiet authority. Not from control, but from clarity. Clarity commands respect. You move through situations confidently. Decisions feel simpler. Direction feels steady. Type Amen 4242 to walk in confidence. This phase strengthens emotional balance. Nothing pulls you too far in any direction. Everything feels centered. The connection continues to mature with patience. Growth unfolds steadily. Nothing is rushed. You feel supported without pressure. Support feels consistent. Consistency builds security. Security settles into your daily life. It becomes part of how you move. It stays. Type Amen 4343 to maintain security. Archangel Michael says this steadiness is protected. What is aligned remains untouched by disturbance. Strength surrounds what is true. You feel less reactive and more grounded. Responses come from calm awareness. Awareness brings wisdom. Wisdom guides your actions naturally. Nothing feels impulsive. Everything feels intentional. You trust the process completely now. Trust removes anxiety. Confidence remains. Type Amen 4444 to seal trust. The announcement continues to define expectations. There is no confusion left. Boundaries hold firm. You notice how others respect your space. Respect flows without effort. Effortlessness brings peace. Peace becomes your default state. It supports clarity. Clarity supports growth. Growth remains steady and healthy. Nothing overwhelms you. Balance stays intact. Type Amen 4545 to sustain balance. Your inner world feels organized and calm. Thoughts align easily. Emotions respond gently. This harmony supports your confidence. Confidence supports expression. Expression feels authentic. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself. Your position is understood. Understanding stays consistent. The connection remains defined and respected. Nothing drifts into uncertainty. Everything stays clear. Type Amen 4646 to keep clarity. Time continues to pass without disruption. Nothing shakes what has been established. Stability proves its strength. You feel rooted in truth. Truth steadies your steps. Steady steps move you forward. The person who spoke remains present and consistent. Their actions confirm their words. Confirmation brings reassurance. Reassurance strengthens emotional peace. Peace strengthens focus. Focus strengthens purpose. Type